Hey, grade level leads, welcome to our first somewhat flipped grade level lead meeting. Here's what we're going to try. And if this works, maybe every other meeting we'll do something along these lines. But we have several topics that we want to cover. And with that, we'll cover those. And then we're going to put those up on Flipgrid for you to be able to reply back. And we'll throw all of that in the Schoology group that we've created for the grade leads. Again, I just think back a few months ago, everything I just said would have sounded like a foreign language. It's amazing when we step back and realize how much we've learned and how much we've grown as we're talking about filming something on StreamYard, posting it on Flipgrid, and then putting that link to that in the group for Schoology for grade leads. So these are certainly different times we live in, but they can always help us grow. The first thing we want to cover as normal, first of all, no introductions are needed, you know the crew, is our celebrations, which even though we're not all in the room together, we still want to celebrate.
Whoop, whoop, celebrations in the house. So we are so excited about iPads, celebrate that, and all the awesome technology that we can use in kindergarten through 8th grade. The training today was awesome. Thank you all for being active participants. And thank you all each day for all of the help and all of your fabulous smiles. And I've been around in the building, and I just want to say thank you all for welcoming me this week in the building. And also the classes and everything are looking great. The kids are amazing. You guys are doing a great job with rituals, routines, and procedures. You guys rock.
Hey guys, first of all, it seems like if memory serves, there used to be this song called Celebrate. I don't know. I don't remember how it goes, but it seemed like there was something like that. Hey, I do appreciate. Oh, she found it. Cool in the gang. Let's pause for that, of course.
That's myself.
Okay, enough with shenanigans. We'll let that go. But I do appreciate what Davis is saying. And she actually made a comment the other day that she wanted one of us to write a letter to the military saying that she had to move to Charleston. And Coward actually did that. It's still pending as to whether the Pentagon accepts Mr. Coward's letter as teacher on special assignment. But
they're undecided.
It is nice having Davis in the building and having an outside perspective, even though she's part of our team, on kind of gauging where we are. And I've heard so many positives from her that are reaffirming, and I appreciate that. Guys, any other celebrations?
Yeah, I have one. I'd like to celebrate James really stepping up, like taking control of a lot of the apps and stuff and getting those pushed out, talking to Andreas, getting everything going. That's my first one. That's a huge one. My second one is that I get to sit next to my best buddy, Mr. Coward, in the meeting.
The thing is, I want to be clear, Mr. Schwartz and Mr. Coward, they were going to be on here separate, but they didn't want to be that far apart, so they decided to be in the same room.
And we're matchy.
We matchy.
Isn't that cute? Yeah. Okay. Any other celebrations, guys, that you want to mention?
I just want to celebrate Kat because she works endless hours. We text all night long if not get on the phone call. She's incredible. She's a great addition to our team. I'm so glad she came aboard because she goes above and beyond, and not just for the administrations and building, but for our teachers and everything too. So kudos to Kat. She's great.
Oh, I do have one more celebration before we go. I want to thank all the teachers for welcoming the new models with rolling out the A and the B. They have done that, and it's been, I feel like, a really seamless transition. So I really appreciate all the teachers and their help as well. I helped a lot with the first day, but after that, the teachers took it and they ran with it, and they have done a great job.
Yeah, and I like that. And one of the topics we're going to cover is that. And of course, if we were in a room, it would be a little easier. But I'm hoping that on Flipgrid, or even if you want to do the Schoology post in the group, that we get your feedback. Because what I don't want to do is to give everyone a voice, make those changes, and then think that we nailed it right away. So what I'd really like to get is some feedback for the team on how we did. If there's any other adjustments that we want to make or we need to make, please let us know. But I know my celebration, and then we'll kind of jump into the agenda unless someone has something, is just every teacher in this building. I've seen so much, and I'm not a big Facebook person, but I've seen a few things on Facebook. I've seen things on Twitter. I've seen things on the news about just teachers wanting to leave the profession because they feel unsupported. They feel unloved, uncared for, and underappreciated. And somehow, I know we've had some parents that have said things, but when I see the smiles on your faces, even through these tough times, it means the world to me. And I know that I know how much the serve team cares, and we wish we could do more. But I just really love how we're trying to stay above all of this, stay positive, smile and laugh when things don't go well, maybe smile and laugh when we get a ridiculous email from a parent. But I just appreciate everyone's positivity. I think it's really what separates us from other schools who are really, really struggling right now with their climate culture. And again, I just wish I could make things easier, but I appreciate that. Guys, anything else before we jump in?
Just quickly, the MTSS team meeting today. I got to see your plan, and it looks like a really thorough plan. So it was really nice to see them to come together and come up with some actionable items to move us forward in that process.
Yeah, listen, it was a tough meeting early on, and then I realized it was my fault because I had really not empowered the teacher. We have some amazing people who are on that MTSS group and a couple great leads, and with that, I think they were worried whether they could make those decisions. And once they kind of freed themselves up to realize they were kind of the captain of that ship, they moved forward with an amazing plan. And I'm just excited to see where we go with MTSS to actually bring it to fruition instead of just talking about it. So we definitely have the right people on the bus to make that work. So it was a very exciting end to that meeting. It was very positive. Okay, guys, the first topic I want to talk about is attendance. And I'm going to turn that over to Mrs. Coyle. Go ahead, Mrs. Coyle.
Hi, guys. We're still collecting some data about from Mobile A and Mobile B teachers about exactly what would be the best process. For that to happen. So we're still in the process of that. We will have that out to you next week by next week's grade lead meeting. So just look out for that next week, and we'll explain how everything's going to be done. But we still are just collecting our data.
Awesome. And again, I'm looking forward to that report at our live meeting so we can kind of all get on the same page with that attendance. The next topic is probably a little more, obviously attendance is important. I just had a teacher ask me about attendance right before we started. But with that, we're going to get into a topic that's kind of more in the forefront of our minds right now, or something that we're all thinking about, and that's an iPad update. So for that, I'm going to turn it over to our blended learning liaison, Brandon Swartz.
Hey, so good news is you guys have all seen that we have the iPads out now. The bad news is you've seen how they've been delivered. We've got iPads in boxes with chargers and one wall outlet. That's not great. So what we did is we contacted UDT, who was supposed to wire our cards, and there was a little miscommunication that happened there. So what we got going on is we have 360 wires going back and chargers going back. They'll be delivered tomorrow morning at UDT, and both James and I are going to be the squeaky wheel, so to say, to make sure that Meavers is in the forefront of UDT's mind, or else they're just going to keep getting annoyed by us. So we fully expect to have a shipment of 9 cards back to us, 9 or 10 cards back to us, the 5th, which is going to be not next week, but the week after Monday. When those are coming back, James and I are going to pack up and ship 360 more cables back to them. So we'll have another 10 cards coming back. Then after we get all that stuff back, we're going to get them switched out into your rooms. So you're actually never going to lose iPads. That's one thing that we wanted to make sure, is that we didn't say, hey, here's your iPads, JK, LOL, we need them back. We wanted to make sure that you had your iPads. Sorry, I'm trying to be serious here. You had your iPads. And then we are getting those carts wired up for you, and we'll get them shipped out or switched out into your rooms. Then we're going to take all the cables that you currently have. James, myself, and Andreas are going to get together and wire up the rest of those carts. That way, we're hoping that in 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to have everything wired back up, and in your classes. Now, I know that there was some talk today on how to best keep those wires intact. You guys are not going to have to worry about that. So all of those carts are going to come pre-wired. I've personally used those carts for 2 years, 2 different variations. And really all you would need is maybe 6 of the cloth zip ties, which I will make sure that we have for you guys to make sure that all those wires are good. You will not need to have students do them. I would highly suggest, actually, I'm going to strongly suggest that that teachers are the ones that plug all these iPads back in to make sure they're in order, they're clean, they're ready to go. And again, I'll come around to each class to show you guys how to do that. But really, it's going to be, once we get our carts in, which again will be in a couple weeks, we'll start getting them back. It's going to be a real game changer for y'all.
Yeah. Hey, listen, guys, I don't know. There's a couple of things I want to stress that Swartz has done really well. The first one is, during that presentation, you have no idea of the silly banter that was going on to try to distract him, but somehow he managed through. I'm pretty impressed. But I also want to just say that behind the scenes, to try to get the iPads out to you, even though they showed up without carts, the work down in the gym, the buying, Davidson buying the power strips for your room, all of that being temporary just so you could get them. And it's a work in progress. But this, I can tell you, having been through this with CSUSA, going one-to-one iPad, there will be a date, probably, I don't know, November 1st, where we'll look back and kind of even forget of all the difficulty that we had, because everyone will have their cart. You'll have established routines and procedures on how the students are going to use the iPads. You'll be in the process of learning how and different apps that you can use with the iPad. So we are well on our way. I'm just really impressed with the work that James and Swartzy in particular have put in. It's been very good, and your patience, but we've come a long way, and good things are happening. So thank you, Swartzy, for that update. And again, my favorite one was Coyle saying, we need your photo bomber needs more screen time. I thought that was a clever comment. Anyway, okay, I don't know how you did it, Swartz. The next thing I want to talk about is, and some of you may think, why do we really need to know that? I just want everyone to have a copy, but I want to share it with the grade leads first before I share it with others. And, I know there's a lot of, I'm not sure what's going on with that, Swartz. No, you're off. Okay. Anyway, I know there's a lot of roles that we've created for the grade leads, but one of them that I really want to start doing better. I'm very privileged to be on this CSUSA group called the Principals Advisory Committee. I think there are 11 of the principals that are on it, and we meet with Dr. Christensen once a month, and he always kind of vets things through our group before they push them out to the national team and then down to the state team. It's nice to kind of have a voice and just be able to see things ahead of time. So I really want to start doing that with everything we have, whether, again, it's the form or the document that we'll use for walkthroughs, whether it's the Eager Eagles or even the responsibility matrix. But I know you may not be able to see this very well on your screen, but this is the MEVERS responsibility matrix for, looks like, sadly, I forgot to change the year on it. Sorry about that. But I'll fix that. But with that, you can see that this is going to have, or I may have forwarded you the wrong one, Davidson, so I'll make sure that we attach the right one in Schoology. But we've got what everyone's role and responsibility is for everyone. It looks like it is the right one because I got Davis and others on there. But I wanted you to see like who you go to, who oversees, you may have someone oversees something, but someone else is responsible for the implementation of it. So this kind of covers what the roles and responsibilities of the SERV team are. If you can scroll on down just a little bit, Ms. Davidson.
Where's the?
And we actually have that really for just about every office position. I've spent more time kind of adjusting the ones on the first page, but we do have those roles and responsibilities for everyone. So I just wanted you to see that ahead of time. And again, I'll attach that in the group, but I wanted you to see ahead of time that we have that ready to go. And I want everyone in our building to be able to access who oversees what on our team. So that is the responsibility matrix. And again, we'll be getting that out to you. The next thing I want to talk about is safety updates for the option changes. We've had a few parents, I think a few of us are going to jump in on this, but we've had a few parents that have made comments about, wow, since you let new students in, now I'm concerned about the class size. Well, I was very clear from the beginning that parents were going to have a voice and a choice. And if parents wanted to send their children back to us, we had a week and a half to make the accommodations and the adjustments that were necessary. So I do not plan on changing from that, but there are accommodations and adjustments that we need to make each time. at this time, we do need students to be masked up in rooms, guys. We can take mask breaks, and you can do mask breaks like every other student if you choose to, but we do need to be masked up. And we still need to make sure we stay really diligent with the gelling in, gelling out, and our other protocols and procedures that we've put into place. We're also looking in. Oh, wait, let me turn it over to Coyle to kind of share this exciting news. So I'll turn it over to Ms. Coyle.
We're getting plexiglass. They're actually coming Tuesday. I just sent them pictures. I got off the phone with them. They're coming Tuesday to look at what our needs are, and they custom design plexiglass for us. So we'll get that for the cafeteria. I took pictures of even our 8th grade science tables because they're different than all the other tables in the building. Our standard tables, our kidney-shaped tables, our long tables. I sent them as many pictures as I possibly could of our furniture. She's all excited because they just are finishing up Lexington. They had 3 out of 5 districts in Lexington, and they're finishing them up this weekend. So next week starts their calendar all clear, so they can end up getting our order out as quickly as possible, and hopefully we'll have it within 2 weeks. So they're coming Tuesday on the 29th at 12:30 to get all that ball rolling and get that started, and we're really excited about getting the plexiglass. And they actually do have ones that the kids can roll from their desk to the kidney table. She did explain those to me, so you actually would not have all of them always at that kidney table, and the kids just take them with them when they go across the room. So that's pretty neat.
I like that. And we are going with a local company. A while back, we had put in to get some from the Charter Institute at Erskine with state money. Someday we could get those, but we may be into a completely different pandemic by then. All kidding aside, I'm sorry for joking about it. But the schools that were part of the first order still haven't received theirs. And I want to make sure that not only are we making adjustments for now, but knowing that at the end of the 9 weeks, we've got more students coming back. I don't know how many, but I want to make sure that we're ready for that. And I really wanted to be able to hold off on purchasing the plexiglass because all of that comes out of our budget. But I think with the number of kids coming back, even though it's not something we're going to use moving forward, I think that it's an expense we'll have to make. And I don't know if Coyle mentioned it, but they've got a really quick turnaround time, or at least that's what they talked about. So there's a chance that within a couple of days after placing the order, we may start seeing some of that plexiglass come in. And we know that might be a bit of a challenge this late in the year, but I think it's going to help us all feel safer, and certainly everyone in the Meavers community, our students, our staff, and our parents feel more safe.
And they also install. They're not like going to drop them off in boxes and say, here you go. They actually do the installation. They're doing it this weekend in Lexington. They're actually going into schools on the weekend. So if that happens with us, we can let them in on the weekend, and they can be surprised on a Monday. You guys all have plexiglass ready to go.
Hey, Jordan, you're not too upset by that, are you?
You don't want to set it up for them Sunday afternoon?
Take it away from you? No.
And I respect the desire of our staff to help out. CMAC today, when he overheard us talking about the fact we were going to get it, he said, "Hey, if you give me some plexiglass and a hot glue gun, I can do it." I think this might be something that, and I appreciate that. And he probably would try, but I appreciate as much as I appreciate that. I think going with a professional at this point who can kind of hand make those and match what we need is the best way to do it.
Fagan has faith in CMAC, though. Fagan did take side, and he thought that CMAC can handle the task. So I said, well, if he can produce one by Friday, let's see.
Hey, guys, the next topic on here is the Eager Eagles update.
All right, so really quickly, you guys all have them. Hopefully they're posted by your light switch. I've seen a couple posted outside. That's fine too. That might be up to Mr. Stickle if he wants to keep them all inside. So we started trying to get the signatures this week. You guys will see us more next week, though. We're going to definitely try and stay on top of it. As far as the coupons go, we will give out coupons for signatures every Friday so that you guys kind of have like a specific date to look for. The coupons will be like all of this big. So just turn them in to me whenever you get them. And then that's pretty much it. Whenever you're done with your blue one, there is a tier 2 one. So just, I can't do it. There is a tier 2 one. It's red. So just come get it to me or from me. That's it for Eager Eagles. I can't. Y'all are horrible.
I don't know.
I'm not as good as Schwartz. I can't do it.
There truly is only one Schwartz, without a doubt. Anyway, Guys, the final topic that we have is the supply update. And who's taking that one? Stutz?
Yeah. Okay. I'll try and stay focused this time. So the Amazon wish list, there is a under the discussions and okay, so let me start over. On Schoology, if you go to the grade lead group and then you go under discussions, there is a grade level Amazon wish list discussion. And if you'll just post your link for your Amazon wish list on that, if you can't find it, just email it to me and I can post it for you. So far, we have first grade, 7th and 8th grade team, and 5th grade. So if you have any questions or you need help coming up with ideas, I'm really good at online shopping. I can help you out.
I'm not supplied that those grades already have those in.
I just asked them and no.
No, that was a joke. I tried okay.
Oh, I thought you said surprised.
No,
Maybe
yes, fine.
whatever. I was trying to.
I do see the thumbs down. Listen, guys, even without the grade leads, we still wanted to have some fun, and hopefully we covered the topics that you wanted to. On your flip grid response, or if you post in Schoology, if there are some topics that you wanted us to cover and we didn't, I do apologize. Please share with your grade levels. We really appreciated the attention that they gave to the training today. We'll probably be putting together our own reflection form just to kind of see where people feel with that and what they may want moving forward. So with that, guys, anyone have anything for the, oh, wait a second. Before we dismiss, there's one topic we missed on the agenda. And that topic will be presented by the one and only best buddy of Brandon Sports, and that's Jordan Coward.
We only had to remind
I wondered why you guys kept typing dismissal.
For dismissal, we are going to ask the teachers if we can create a little more sense of urgency getting the students down to the cafeteria. If you hear their name over the walkie, it means we needed them like 5 minutes ago. So if we can be a little bit more, I don't know what word I'm looking for.
Urgent. You already used it.
Yeah. And then another thing to kind of help out with that, we're going to ask that teachers have students packed up, ready to go, don't have homework out, no iPads, things like that. So when their name does pop up, they're ready to get down there right away. If we can take attendance, so if you can mark absent students, that way if there's a confusion down on our end, that should be able to, if we can mark that those kids are absent, that should help us out down there. When a student leaves the classroom, please click depart so that we know they're on their way. Some of the teachers are doing that already, but we did notice there's a few that are not. So if we could get that going. If they are not in your classroom and a name pops up, we're not going to do anything about that right now. And then lastly, if there's any students that their names are continually not popping up over a matter of days, if you could let me know about that so I can go back into silent dismissal and try to figure out what's going on. That's all I got.
Okay. Listen, I want to add a couple things on that. And I know Mr. Coward said them, but if possible, like I asked a couple first of all, dismissal today for the dismissal team was really, really challenging. Like, we had some issues with the aftercare kids' names not showing up. Everyone's running around out there. I love the fact that while we're running around like that and it's kind of hectic and intense, in the classrooms, when I talked to a couple teachers, they're like, oh, no, it was awesome. Please know that while it's a great system in your classroom, and that's the most important thing, it's pretty hectic down in the gym and then out in the car loop. With that, the biggest issue, as Mr. Coward said, is that sense of urgency. We really need to make sure kids have things packed up. They are ready to go. Never are you going to hear a principal say that except during dismissal. I got to have the kids ready so when their name comes, they're ready to go. Not like, okay, go ahead, put your supplies away, or you had them working on something. They just got to be ready, guys. We got to get those kids out there quickly. And sometimes I think the serve team thinks I'm a little over the top with worrying about that attention to detail and how every second counts. We just saw what adding 79 kids did to our arrival and dismissal. it's taken us 3 or 4 days to kind of compensate for that. We're only about 65% of our kids right now. So, we've got 300 and some kids that still aren't here. So we better be really ready and right now take advantage of the time we have to get everything worked out so we can still maintain closing the lanes at 320, maybe 325 at the latest, and have the last car roll through at 330. So right now is when we want to make sure that we make all the adjustments we need to. And the biggest thing we can see that's not on our end with making sure we manage the system is just making sure the teachers have the kids ready. And we've got plenty of things that we know we need to do on our end too, but the biggest thing we can get from teachers just having kids ready and get them down to us ASAP. Make sure you create that sense of urgency. If you're upstairs, we don't want them falling down the stairs, but we do want them kind of rushing their way down. And I think we'll see a big change with that. And you'll appreciate that once we get through this pandemic. God forbid, this lasts much longer, but once we get through this, I think you'll appreciate the fact that we paid so close attention to detail. So please know there's a lot of work that goes into making that work. And if you could just help us out in that way, that would be great. Guys, that does conclude the meeting. Again, Flipgrid, we'll have this in there. I'm not going to laugh, Swartz. I just appreciate everyone's time today. There were some great things going on in classrooms. I didn't get in classes today much, but yesterday, just amazing. Like, honestly, I started hitting some of those eager eagles and I was leaving like 3 on most of them. I do kind of want to share this. Guys, when it comes to like an agenda board, I really don't, I'm not looking to have like standards on a piece of copy paper. I really want that to be genuine, more authentic, and something that's updated, not something that's a piece of paper. I don't think that we would find a lot of educational benefit in that piece of paper. For you, yes, but for the students, not as much. So in order to get that one, let's make sure that we have that written on that agenda board. So without anything else, guys, that's it. Have a great evening. We'll see everyone tomorrow. You guys planned that. Wow. Nice.